Sisyphus' story is one that originates from Greek myth, where he was a king of a prosperous city, surrounded by fertile plains and natural springs. His kingdom, Corinth, was a grand trading outpost that harbored a mighty fleet. Sisyphus built a beautiful kingdom in the heart of Greece, surrounded by Athens and Sparta. However, Sisyphus' character was a stark contrast to the city's beauty. Sisyphus was known as a devious, power-hungry tyrant, whom ultimately was damned to hell not once, but twice. Sisyphus earned his first sentence to hell by killing visitors and seducing his own niece to be his queen. These actions angered the Greek god Zeus. However, Zeus took no action until later, when Sisyphus was responsible for foiling his kidnapping of the river god's daughter. After foiling Zeus's plan, this is the second time Sisyphus has angered the god. This time, Zeus decided to take action. He asked Thanatos, the god of death, to imprison Sisyphus in hell. However, Sisyphus, being the clever man he was, fooled Thanatos into imprisoning himself with his own chains of damnation. This sent the world into temporary chaos because without Thanatos, nobody could die. Thanatos was later freed by Ares, the god of war, who was upset because battle was no longer fun without death. Once Sisyphus learned Thanatos was coming for him, he asked his wife to throw him into the river, knowing his death was inevitable. But once again, Sisyphus had a plan. Sisyphus died in the river and eventually washed up onto the shore of the river of Styx, where he was discovered by the queen of the underworld. He told the queen of the underworld that his wife didn't give him a proper burial, and that he wanted to incite revenge on his wife. The queen made Sisyphus promise to return after he had done this duty. Sisyphus, of course, promised to return upon getting his revenge, but Sisyphus never truly intended on returning. Sisyphus had escaped death for the second time. This greatly enraged Zeus. Sisyphus had enraged Zeus for a third time. This time, Zeus decided Sisyphus' punishment would be harsh. Zeus sent Hermes, the messenger god, to retrieve Sisyphus and bring him to him. There, Zeus sentenced Sisyphus to an eternal punishment of rolling a boulder up a hill for it only to fall just before reaching the top. This is where Sisyphus' tale ends in the Greek myth and begins in the ULTRAKILL universe. It is unclear if Sisyphus was sentenced to hell in ULTRAKILL for the same reasons as in the Greek myth, but the myth is alluded to in ULTRAKILL. In ULTRAKILL, Sisyphus' story begins when he was already in hell, enduring his eternal suffering, in the fourth layer of hell, the greed layer. There, Sisyphus was among the materialistic, hoarders, lavish spenders, and of course, the power-hungry. There, they are forced to carry heavy boulders up monuments of mankind's Cerberus, while being surrounded by endless riches of gold dust that will set them ablaze upon just a touch, because of the abnormally hot sun that sends heat waves throughout the layer. Because Sisyphus was one of the greediest of mankind, the angels blinded him with what blinded him in life, gold itself. But gold was not the only thing that Sisyphus was after. Sisyphus also craved power. Sisyphus may be dead, but his will to pursue power was alive and scheming, even under the watchful eye of the heavens. In secret, Sisyphus amassed an army by covertly recruiting any and all intelligent husk to join his ranks. This army was later named by the angels as the Sisyphean Insurrectionist. For thousands of years, Sisyphus endured his punishment, built his army, and plotted his revenge against the heavens for their tyranny. Then, after years, the angels watching over the greed layer stopped showing up. This period of time is described in a journal within the greed layer. It has been days since we last saw any angels. Without their oppression, there is no need for us to carry on our punishment. Even the meekest of the damned have abandoned their penance to take up arms. All can see how they have robbed us of our minds, bodies, and souls, leaving us only the hopes of salvation that will never come, but no longer. King Sisyphus has acted in secret until now, amassing an army whose strength and numbers swell. But now, there is no need to hide anymore. We have lived in the shadows of heaven long enough to forget the taste of fear. Now, the Sisyphean insurrectionists prepare for war. I have heard of Minos beginning a peaceful revolution, but our king Sisyphus knows such pacificity will gain no favor from our cruel captors. He knows that one can only fight power with power, and he shall lead us to freedom. Sisyphus and his army wait to clash with the heavens. After mercilessly killing King Minos for his defiance, Gabriel shifted his efforts to extinguish this new uprising in the Greed Lair. Gabriel gathered an army of his own and set off for the Greed Lair, where a battle the heavens will never forget took place. The battle between the heavens and the Sisyphean insurrectionists was hard fought, but the superior strategies of the more experienced angels led to a swift victory for the angels. Gabriel noticed the insurrectionists would lose all morale if their beloved leader was no more, so Gabriel ordered his soldiers to focus their efforts to kill Sisyphus. Sisyphus was caught off guard by the sudden shift in strategy, leaving an opening for Gabriel to unsheath his blades and behead Sisyphus. There he displayed his head for all to see on the battlefield, crushing the morale of the insurrectionists, inevitably ending the revolution. The Council of Heaven ordered Sisyphus' soul to be locked away so he would never have a chance to rise again, where he would meet a more severe punishment for his new sin of heresy. The aftermath of this battle within the Greed Lair can be seen by looking at the character model of the Sisyphean insurrectionist. You can see where they are rended apart from the battle they had with the angels. And you can find King Sisyphus' headless corpse within the pyramid, where he is used as an example for anyone who decides to try and oppose the heavens. Sisyphus was no fool. He knew waging war against the heavens was a futile battle. But to feel power again, even just briefly, by resisting his oppressors gave Sisyphus great joy. One can only imagine him smiling, laying in wait to do it all again. It is during this wait that V1 discovers Sisyphus' prison, allowing him to have one more chance to rise against the heavens.
This prison to hold me. A visitor. Indeed, I have slept long enough. The kingdom of heaven has long since forgotten my name, and I am eager to make them remember. However, the blood of Minos stains your hands, and I must admit, I'm curious about your skills, weapon, and so, before I tear down the cities and crush the armies of heaven, you shall do as an appetizer. Come forth, child of man, and die. Destroy. You can't escape. Yes, that's it. You can't escape. So concludes the life and times of King Sisyphus. A fitting end to an existence defined by futile struggle. Doomed from the very start. And I don't regret a second of it.